Hey guys! Oh my gosh, I have started this video numerous times. I am just going to like flip out. So I'm trying to get through it now because my downstairs neighbor is playing his guitar or bass or something and it's like really hard. It keeps throwing me off of my train of thought and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to start over. But I really need to do this now because my daughters are going to be home from school in a few minutes and then it's just way too much chaos. So anyway, this is a really happy video. It's a really positive video because this is the culmination of a lot of things in my life in this video, and there are two big things that have happened just in the last 2 weeks. And the first thing is that I am now graduating from university with my bachelor's degree. So that is a huge deal. I will have a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology with a minor in Sociology. But before that, I had started a minor in biology, so I was like halfway through that, so I have a background in that as well. So all interrelated stuff, and that's really exciting because I started college like 11 years ago, and it's taken me that long to complete all of this. So I'll get into it a little more details about it because it's just such a huge long-term thing in my life that is now ending. So in that sense, I feel like it's a big accomplishment. Also, I am the first person in my immediate family to have a college degree. So that's another big thing. Yeah, it's a huge thing. And the second thing, which is related to that, is that I already got a job. And so that was pretty much mind-boggling because I was not expecting it. It just sort of happened. Stuff just like the ball started rolling in a certain direction and then it just happened. So I have killed two birds with one stone, sort of, because they're both school related in the last week or two. And it's just the momentum of stuff going forward. I feel really good. For the first time in a really long time, I feel positive about something in my life, and so that's really great. So I gotta back up a little bit to the college thing. I already gave you some of the details, but yeah, it's a big deal because it's been a long time coming. And my initial goal was to continue on in school. I wanted to get like a PhD in psychology so that I could teach at the university level, because generally speaking, you cannot teach at a university without a master's or a PhD. Like if you want to be on faculty, like at a university, generally speaking, you have to have a PhD. Like they have master's students who are teaching. That's part of getting your master's or your PhD, is like you have to teach. So a lot of people don't even know that at universities, a lot of the people that are teaching you aren't like professors. They don't have like a PhD. They're a student. They're in the process of getting their degree. So, yeah. I knew after getting divorced that that was not really an option for me to continue on. I kind of held on to the hope that I could do it, but the closer I've come in the last year, I've really given it up because I realized it was not feasible to do it. My arm is like all wrinkled. It's gross. Stop looking at it. Whatever. I'm distracting myself again. Anyhow, so yeah, so I pretty much gave up on my dream, and like anytime people would say, oh, what are you gonna do since you're almost done with college? I was like, I don't know. I mean, psychology is one of those degrees that unfortunately, if you don't have a graduate degree, it's kind of useless. Like you can do a lot of, I guess, like human services jobs or HR type jobs, administrative jobs, but they're not really a lot of times related to psychology itself. So I didn't really want to go back to like administrative stuff that I was doing before college, because it's like, okay, that made the last 10 years of my life purposeless as far as school. But I kind of felt like I had no choice. So I've been looking around at jobs for about a month. I wasn't intending on actually applying for any jobs until after Christmas and New Year's. But what happened is that in my last class, which is in the Human Services Department, which I didn't even know about. I didn't even know about the Human Services Department at my school. I was in my last semester and I needed an elective class. Most of my classes are in the psychology department. And so the human services department is an associate's program. It's a 2-year program, and they have a lot of like counseling based classes. That's pretty much what it's based in. You can get your associates in human services in either behavioral health or addictions counseling. So I didn't even know about it, but I needed a class, and so I was like, this is definitely like up my alley, so I'm going to take this class. And it was called Crisis and Grief Counseling, and I thought it was really good. It was way more practically based than anything that I have taken in the psych department, because apparently, which I didn't even know all this, see, it's at the end that you find out all this stuff, and a lot of other psychology students have told me that they did not know this either, that the psychology department is like basically preparing people to go on to get a graduate degree. It's very theoretically based, and it's not practically based at all. So yeah, it's totally different in the human services department. So I really enjoyed the class, I enjoyed the teacher, I really liked it. And so at the end, you know, I'm thinking about jobs, and so I asked my teacher if he would be a reference for me. I knew that he would, because he likes me anyway. But he said yes, that he would, and he asked me what kind of jobs I was looking for, like in counseling or other things. You know, you can't be a licensed, I don't know how you want to say it. Basically, you can't be a counselor in an agency with just a human services degree. You can do other kinds of stuff like advocacy, and you know, you could be like somebody who does intake and stuff like that, but you can't be the person that is counseling someone session after session after session. You have to have a master's or above for that. So anyway, he asked me if I was trying to get into counseling. I said no. Even at a master's level, I wouldn't want to be a counselor. That's not my thing. Personally, I wanted to teach, and that's what I told him. And he was like, well, you know, you couldn't teach at the actual university, but you could teach in the community college portion in the human services department. And I was like, seriously? For real? And he was like, yes. And he said, you and I could co-teach together, and then you could teach on your own after that. And I was like, tell me all about it. And so he did, and that kind of got the ball rolling on that, and everything happened really quick, and I put in an official application, and I got the job as adjunct faculty in the Human Services Department, and I will be co-teaching a class called Individual Interviewing and Counseling, starting in the spring. And so I'm just like totally excited. I'm totally excited, and my teacher, Bob is his name, he's an older man. He's got a lot of experience. He doesn't have a PhD either. He only has a bachelor's, but he has a lot of like work experience, I guess you could say. He's worked in a lot of different agencies in a lot of different capacities and stuff, so he has a wealth of knowledge, like 30 years of knowledge, and I think he's just a very nice guy, and I really appreciate him giving me this opportunity, because I can get my foot in the door now by doing this. And it's just totally exciting, because I thought I had given up on the idea of doing it, and it's nice to be able to be given this chance, because he obviously saw something in me. You know, he said he thought that I would be a great teacher, you know, just, I don't know, my demeanor and the way that I speak and the way that I do things. Like, he was like, you will succeed and you will do well in this area. And I'm like, I think so too. That's why I want to do it. So I'm just like ridiculous excited. I feel so like right now, it's just crazy. It's crazy, and there's so many possibilities I think that can come from this for me. And yeah, so one of my big worries, looking for work, is now gone. It's only part-time work though, so I'm not going to be rich. I'm still going to be poor, but you know, it's a pathway to more things. You know, hopefully in the future I will be teaching more, and could turn into more of a long-term thing. So that's it. I know this is probably really long, so I'll stop, and hope you all can share my joy. I know you will, especially if you follow me for years and stuff, from back then to now. Big change, right? So I hope everybody else is doing great, and I'll talk to you all later.